He say, she say, we say, I say, hearing out them points of views when I see it my way. Yes it goes, yes it knows, maybe so's, probably not, shoulds and coulds, do's and don'ts, your wills and won'ts is how you rock. Politicians and religions, on your house or are you renting? Is you married, is you single, meta interest when you mingle, turn out to be someone you into, so how long before the bed get wrinkled? Children when they tripping, is it time out or do you whip them? Opinions and decisions, hunches, intuitions, may or may not get it, cause people's experience different. Check the prejudice at the door. Speak the mind, you give the flow. Tell the truth if it's sweet or sour, cause the hour we spitting that fire.
Okay, everyone, welcome to Spittinfire, and this is me. Okay, so we're going to be talking about some things, right? So I know last week I was off the air for a few days, and I'm going to be off the air probably again for a minute. I came back when Bill Cosby was released from jail, and then there was this motion that R. Kelly attorneys who are now taking over the case as the other two attorneys were fired. Now that they put a motion in, we don't know what's going to go on, right? And so I didn't want to come and go. So I had decided that it was going to be really beneficial for us to stay on the air, okay, until after this goes on until the actual trial date, because I got some things that I'm working on behind the scenes, okay, because the things that needs to be worked on behind the scenes is something that I can't display in the public, because you have people out here who will try to stop what it is that you're doing, especially when you want to fight against injustice and things like that, right? So I got a couple of bloggers that on this side that is working with me, and they know exactly what it is that we're going to do or whatever. So we're working on these things, and we're hoping to get it together soon. Once we get it together, then I think that everybody will definitely be on board with it now. I tried to start an initiative back in 2019. It didn't really fly because I think that it was all new to us, right? I think that when I started my initiative, R. Kelly at that time was not arrested, and it was all new. We didn't know what to do. We were getting a feel of what it is that we should do and things of that nature. Now, I've always, when it came to injustice, wanted to follow the law. I suggested to R. Kelly bloggers and those who are wholeheartedly support R. Kelly only to follow the law, okay? And I'm not mad at them because they had to feel their way through, trial and error. They don't know me to take my advice, right? So they had to get to know, we had to feel each other out on this internet street, right? We had to feel each other out and get to know each other on a professional level when we out here blogging, right? So I've often talked about Bill Cosby, and one of the reasons why I said that I sit up here and go hard for R. Kelly is because I don't feel that I did enough to blog about Bill Cosby when we first came on, because I really didn't think that it was going to even go anywhere. When it was a hung jury, I just didn't think it was going to go anywhere. And because it went by my head and over my head and everything else, I just felt so bad about it. Not that anything that I can do to change the outcome, but I just felt so bad that I didn't do what I could do. Even with this R. Kelly case, we don't know the outcome of it. We're not attorneys. We're not anything. But to know that we did all that we could do to notify the public because of the media, okay? So, and speaking of the media, I didn't put this in today's video because it just dawned on me to even mention it as I'm speaking to you now. I was looking at Yahoo, okay? So I was on the Yahoo News, and I noticed that they had Felicia Rashad, and she was supposed to be the dean, okay, of a college, okay? And you guys can look it up or whatever. And the first day, and it was saying something real negative about it should be her last day and things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, all because she wanted to support a friend. Like, she doesn't know these women. She does not know them, but she knows Bill Cosby. If she wants to support him, that is her right. That is her right. So they're now trying to go after her, okay, the college, so they can fire her. For what? For what? Because if they do, that's a lawsuit on their end. Like, people, you're doing way too much. She has a right to support Bill Cosby as I had a right to support R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. Okay? I support both of them. I really do. I support Bill Cosby. I even now starting to support Harvey Weinstein. Because the way shit is looking nowadays, I'm not knowing how this law is doing. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding it at all. But what I want to say is this. Shout out to Kwame, okay? I got some of that mama's cooking. You see that right here? I got some of that. Yes, indeed. I got it. And I got a mug too. And I think I'm going to get the no go along, get along gang, or whatever the phrase is. I'm sorry if I said it wrong. But I'm definitely a fan of the show as of right now. You know, the guy hadn't said anything that I disapprove. And you know me. If you say something that I disagree with, I have no problem telling you I disagree with that shit. But he's thinking like me. Like, he's been saying the things that I have been saying, but I don't have the platform that he has, right? Or what the others have. And one of the things that I do like about Judge Joe Brown, okay, one of the things I just love about Judge Joe Brown is the fact that he was saying some things that I was saying as well on other podcast shows. And he doesn't mind doing an interview with you. He does not mind doing an interview with people. And I hope that others are open to that. You know what I mean? I hope that others can benefit, that it doesn't matter if you have 1,000 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers. Your voice, one person, whatever it can reach, can reach a lot of people. And I remember at the time when Obama was running for office, and because he was the first black man to run for president, I remember him saying at the time when he was on the campaign is that he would campaign in these little towns where there was only like a handful of people. And the people who were helping him at that time was like, it doesn't matter. You know, if it's one or two person that you can reach, that's one or two more votes that you can probably get. And they're going to spread the words to whoever it is that they believe. So you never know who's going to be there. And not that, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, that approach is really good. And I'm hoping that other people understand that it doesn't matter how big of a following someone has. You never know who's listening to that one particular person who actually can hear you on that show, okay? So I want to definitely shout out to Kwame. But the video clips that I am about to play, okay, it's going to substantiate the things that I have said over the years, but it's going to substantiate this commentary that I'm going to give you today, right? Because of the simple fact is, I think that not only did I say it, but other people are saying it, and they're not as afraid to speak their piece. And they're standing in their truth. And that's exactly what it is that we need. Now, I've often told you guys that I am a registered Democrat, okay? I am a registered Democrat. I've often told you. But I've often told you, if you're following my channel, that I have not been happy with the Democratic Party for a while. I started to have a turn of concern a few years ago, actually, really. A few years ago. And I wasn't understanding. And if you would have told me back in 14, 15, I was a die-hard-core Democrat. But then after 2015, some things has changed, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not for sure. But I was still trying to play that role to be down and support the cause, right? Because that's the party that I was on, right, for so long. And so after, I say about 2017 is when I got a full, like, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking this. And then in 18 and 19, it really sufficed. And I've said it and I shared it with you guys or whatever. So I'm still legally registered as a Democrat, but I voted independent this last election because I wasn't happy. I didn't think that black people were getting anything that we needed. I think that if I voted for the Democratic Party, I was voting against my own interests. And as I mentioned that, and as I just showed you the mug of Mama's Cooking, I a new fan of Kwame Brown's channel, and he had Angela, okay, Stanton-King on there. And I heard of her name through these internet streets, but I wasn't really familiar with her like that. I seen her here and there, but not like that, right? And so as I'm seeing her surfacing again on these internet streets, and I'm hearing her speak, I'm thinking to myself, wow, she's saying some of the things that I've said. Like, she's saying some of the things that I have been saying. And she said she's been called a coon and all this and that. And I'm thinking, wow, I use those words when people didn't agree with me. And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of it. I'm human. Hey, don't judge me, okay? I'm human, all right? I'm human. Look in the mirror and see what some of the shit that you done said. Anyway, so I didn't call her that, though. But I'm just saying, I have actually said these things to people. And as I listen to her speak, and as I'm not happy with the Democratic Party as of right now, even though I'm still registered, I'm hoping that they do something. I'm hoping. I resonate with a lot of what she said. And in the last few years, I started thinking, and someone told me, as you get older, your points of views change. And maybe it's because I'm getting older, my points of views have changed. But I've had these points of views for quite some time. It's just that in where I come from, a Democrat is what you were and what you were told to be. You understand? We didn't have a free thought or free to vote the way you wanted to vote. You voted this way, and that's just the way it was, or you were shunned. And we know all too well what that's like, just like what Felicia Rashad, when she supported Bill Cosby coming home from prison. And she tweeted that, and she got all this backlash, and they're trying to go after her job and everything. So for those of you who are R. Kelly fans, okay, for those of you who are R. Kelly fans, I'm going to be putting some things up, okay, with this college, and to let them know that there's a lot of support for what she said, and there's a lot of support for Bill Cosby. And there's a lot of support for R. Kelly and things of that nature. We're not part of the go along, get along gang, as what Kwame said. And one of the things I believe, as I do a little commentary about Kwame, one of the things I believe is the fact that he says some things that people who are mainstream are scared to say. And I think that resonates really well with those who think like him, me, and alike. Okay. And we know that the media has been holding on to their stance. They have been saying the same thing, and they've been trying to muffle and shut people up and cancel people. They're trying to do away with your First Amendment. And that's a problem. That is a real big problem. But thanks to Kwame, he's breaking that. He's breaking that. He has a large following. Other small bloggers were saying it. He's breaking that, okay? So shout out again to Mama's Cooking, okay? But I'm going to play this clip that's on his show, okay? I'm going to play this clip, and it's protected by the Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. It's for entertainment purposes only, okay? And the disclaimer is in the description below. So let's listen to it and check it out, and I'll be coming back with more commentary.
Immigrants don't give a fuck about you or your children. They're not finna do nothing for us. So even the people that's coming home from prison that will take some of those low-paying jobs, what are we leaving for our own people? What they already can come over here, get all the loans, get all the stores in our communities, get everything. Why we keep voting against our own interests? That's what I don't get. It's not getting us nowhere. And why are we not demanding action from Joe Biden? I got called a coon everywhere I went. These niggas sitting up here standing with Joe Biden, and not one person got free from prison except Bill Cosby. That ain't had nothing to do with Joe Biden. Not one person that got free from prison. We ain't got not one any type of bill whatsoever. The only thing that we got was the Equality Act telling you that your child got the right to sexually transition without your permission. And if you tell your child that they're actually a male when they're a male, then they're going to say that you are unfit parent. Are you all paying attention? Did y'all see what happened when I went on Dr. Phil? Y'all want to talk about white supremacy? White supremacy is a white man sitting up on the stage telling you that the king you gave birth to is a woman. That's white supremacy. Y'all better wake up. Stop allowing these people to lie to us. Stop allowing them to mislead our children. Stop allowing them to divide us by Republican or Democrat. You need Republicans and Democrats representing you. If those both are the powers, if that's the case, if we doing what's best for black people, you can't tell me that we supposed to be, everybody that we supposed to support is all of the people that's saying we should support our children. No, we want to vote for some people that want our children to live, that want to give us other options.
Well, you definitely got.
Okay, so as you see that she's was on Kwame Brown's channel, and she sat up there and was speaking about Joe Biden. And she said he hasn't freed anyone black from jail, not even Bill Cosby, because Bill Cosby stuff was before he even got in office, and he didn't have nothing to do with that. So don't let the media tell you, because we seen what all that happened, okay? And let me tell you, I've told you on these internet streets that the Democratic Party was the party that was putting these black men away on these rape charges, because the Me Too and Time's Up support the Democratic Party. Okay, so this has nothing to do with party, but if it did, those two organizations support the Democratic Party. Okay, because as I told you before, and if you look at my video, Tarana Burt said that Joe Biden, when he was charged with a sexual mishap, that he could be held accountable and electable. She failed to say that for Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. I just want that to be clear, because I pointed that out several times. That she said that. And I don't understand. But it took someone like her to be on a big platform saying the same thing. So I'm shout out to the sister for saying what she has said. But also, what I want to speak on is the fact that when she was talking about they going to tell you that the king that you gave birth to can refer to themselves as a girl, and that in the Equality Act means that if you don't refer to your child as the pronoun that they want you to refer to them as, that is unfit. Did you hear what she said? And did you hear what I just reiterated? The Equality Act that he signed into law, okay, is saying that you must call your child by the pronoun into which they want to, or you're going to be labeled as an unfit parent. And they can change their birth certificate to what they identify as. So they're getting rid of gender roles, and they're getting rid of gender nouns. Okay, you are whatever you want it to be, and that is not okay. That is not okay whatsoever. So, as I've often told you, that I support R. Kelly because I believe he's done wrong, right? As you see in the beginning of this, I believe he's done wrong. I'm going to show you some things. So if you're new to my channel, don't worry. I always go back and reiterate everything that I've said. So, and here's the reason why. Now, what the young lady just said to you on Kwame Brown's channel, I'm going to show you a clip, another clip that is a section of 107, protected by the Copyright Act. This is for entertainment purposes. And this was during the R. Kelly interview with Gayle King a couple years ago, when he interviewed the two girlfriends. And then I'm going to show you, before that, I'm going to show you that clip. And then I'm going to show you at the end of the clip that I want you to see. Okay, so I'm going to show you that clip.
What is your relationship, both of you, with R. Kelly?
We're with him. That's our relationship.
We're with him. Yeah, that's what it is.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
You just said it.
A very strong relationship as well.
Both of you?
Yes, most definitely.
You know, how do we say this without being inappropriate? Is this a three-way relationship, or do you each have a separate relationship with him? How does this work?
Well, both
I'm
of
curious.
those.
Yeah.
We
Both of
both
those?
have our individual relationships with him, and
Right.
we all are family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not talking about Azrael going to movies and sitting watching, going to parks. I'm talking about is it a three-way sexual relationship?
Sexually, well, first of
between
all,
the
I'm
three
not
of you?
here to talk about my personal life,
Okay.
and I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
No, I wouldn't. But
Okay, then. So,
no,
Yeah.
no, you're
next
right.
question.
No, you're right. I would not. But this is a very different circumstance.
It's
And
not
I
a
think
different
it's a fair
circumstance. There are
question.
people all over the world who have multiple girlfriends. It's no different.
Do both of you all believe you're in love with him?
Of
Absolutely.
course.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Should your
No.
parents be concerned?
No.
Why?
Well, my parents knew where I have always been for 4 years. They have known. They know that I've been well taken care of.
They never thought you were missing, Azrael. They just were wondering if you were okay.
Well, my parents have actually came to Chicago and seen me a few times. I've talked to them. They stopped answering my calls.
You know what they say? They say that you were brainwashed. I talked to your dad last night. He says, my daughter is brainwashed, and he's very concerned. He said he was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar, and he's a manipulative liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azrael, because they say she's 17. We found text messages that indicated that she was having sex with R. Kelly when she was
No.
17. Is that true?
No, that is a lie. That is a lie. I was not having sex with him at 17.
Why would they want to lie about you, their daughter?
Okay, so when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him, take sexual videos with him, all kinds of stuff.
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos
Yes.
with R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
Joycelyn, I see you nodding a lot with what
Yes.
she's saying. Why are you nodding in agreement with what she's saying?
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money, and
Your
they're
parents,
scamming.
you're saying the same as saying?
Well,
you're
both of
saying-
our parents. Both of our parents are basically out here. They're trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, with music or wherever it could be, and
That was an
they're just very
interview
upset.
that
This is the
Gilkey did
first
with
time
the two
hearing, to be
girlfriends.
honest
One of
with
the
you, that your
girlfriends
parents are
turned
trying to get money
accuser.
from R. Kelly.
When the money ran out, she left or whatever and went back to her dad. And that was the one in the black coat that did a lot of talking, okay? And then there's another docuseries that she was a part of where she spilled the whole beans of everything. So that's not played out in the media. That is not played out in the media. And it's out here on all these different social sites, okay? And if you want to see that that documentary, it's called Presidents by a man named Shabazz or whatever. So let's get to talking about this, right? So let's talk about that interview. Now, that interview seems to me that at that time she was strong in her stance to support the King and RB, and so was the other young lady. And Gayle King wanted to make people in the public to think that she was 17, but she was actually 21, a grown woman. And she said that there were text messages that said at 17 that she was in a sexual relationship with R. Kelly. And then there was another one where she said, well, they think that you're brainwashed. Now, here's the thing. I have a problem with this brainwashing things, okay? I have a problem with that. I mean, R. Kelly is not running a cult, okay? He's a man that traveled around the world, was in the studio multiple times. To run a cult, to brainwash somebody takes a lot of time and dedication to do, okay? Those women and young ladies look like they were well taken care of. Not saying that they don't have personal issues like everyone else, but I'm just saying they seem like they were okay to handle themselves. One of the things I want to talk about is 17. Being 17 to date an older man is this big Me Too issue, okay? Because what they want to make the public seem is that R. Kelly is at elementary schools picking up little girls and touching them inappropriately. And that's not the case here. Okay, that's not the case. We have a 17-year-old that the whole world is told that she was too young to date R. Kelly. She's 21 now, or then, and that was 2 years ago. And she was told that she's brainwashed. Okay. You got a 21-year-old and a 23-year-old in a throuple. That's nothing new when you're a celebrity. They're grown. They're legal. You got one 17. Because the mother said she was 3 months before she turned 18 that she got involved with the singer. But she had already graduated high school. Let's put that out there on the table. She's already graduated high school. So some of her classmates are already 18. She just was how happened to be born at the end of the year. She already graduated. This post-graduating high school. So it's not as if, even if she was, that she got involved with R. Kelly and he ruined her life. She didn't graduate high school. She graduated. Okay. The parents took her to him. Let's get that clear. Took her to him. But, and I know you saying what does have to do with it, but I'm gonna explain some things to you, because I want you guys to think of some things as I keep telling you this over and over again. And this is what the law and the Me Too want you to think. And this is where we got to fight back. So we are listening to her and listening to the parents, and they're saying that she was 17. She said that mom and dad came and saw me. Well, they wasn't worried about, they wasn't saying you was missing, Azrael. They were just worried about you. She said after that they came to see me. They stopped answering the calls. If you are worried about me, why would you stop answering my calls? That's the first thing I want to point out in that interview. The second thing I want to point out is 17, 3 months before she turned 18, post-graduation. This is a big thing, but the media has, or the commercial has, commercials, we are 18, call me now. They come on late at night with young women seducing. Now, it ain't just 18-year-olds that's calling the phone when she say, I am 18, call me now. We know that commercial, right? If you don't, let's play it.
Taking a break from studying is what I look forward to, and weare18.com is where I do it. We Are 18 is where hot co-eds are available to video chat live with you 24 hours a day. But if the phone is more your speed, you can always call us at 1-800-WE-ARE-18, online or on the phone. The world's sexiest girls are waiting now.
Weare18.com. Come play with us.
Now, as you've seen that commercial, there's just some things that I have to say. Okay, and some things that the hypocrisy and all this is crazy. So we have a young lady that's just 3 months before she can be in that commercial, which I'm quite sure they'll start filming her right then and there, because by the time the commercial is aired and everything else, her 3 months is up at her birthday. Okay, so I think that's frivolous. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is I think there's just certain small things. Okay, that's frivolous. That's real frivolous. And I think that this is frivolous. But she indicated that she didn't even have a sexual relationship with R. Kelly at 17. Okay. So we don't know. Okay. We don't know. Even though she changed her mind and decided to be against them and all that, we don't know. Okay. We just really don't know. But you seen that commercial. You seen that commercial. And now they're 20. At the time they were 21 and 23. So that was 2 years ago. So now they're 23 and 25. And yet everybody thinking they still shouldn't be together because he's an older man. But yet you got this commercial out here on the internet. So if 18 is still too old, too young to be with someone in their 50s, I'm quite sure whoever calling that line is not just people 18 years old talking to the 18-year-old girls. I'm sure. Because in the commercial it says 18 plus. That means anything after the age of 18. Okay? That's some of the things that we need to understand. Because I think that a lot of people not understanding. But the main point that I was getting at, and this is going to be in the conclusion of this video, is the fact that you have pictures that look like this. You see it over my shoulder? Yeah. That's Dwayne Wade's son. And this is their family picture. The little boy name was Zion. Now transgendered into Zaya. So we have this minor boy, black, who can transition, who can change his whole sex and be whatever it is he want to be. But we can't have a young lady who's 3 months till she's 18, post-graduating high school, can't date an older man. This is what you did. So this little boy can change his whole sex and identity, but she can't date an older man. And she'll be legal at 18. And even then they have a problem with it. That's what they're telling you. That's what they're telling you that is okay. Now, in conclusion with that, let me tell you this. We are in a world of trouble when a 9-year-old little boy can be a girl and a grown woman who is legal, just turned legal, can date a man older. We're hypocrites. We need to think. We need to get our minds and our life right. This alternative stuff got us thinking the wrong way. And we need to reverse it. Everything don't need to be changed. Some things need to stay the same. Some things need to stay traditional. All right. Thank y'all for listening to Spitting Fire. Fire out. All right.